Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy Hikins and Trevor.
Because we just think, oh, I ought to do that. You know, it worked last time, or I'm a bit frightened. You know what I mean? I just wonder if most people have something like that.
I think most people would. It's got me thinking now. What would be mine? I can't really. But having said that, because you mentioned about the ladder, didn't you? You said, you know, you walk under the ladder. I make it a point of rule to be conscious of my surrounding when I'm walking or you know, when I'm going somewhere or I'm doing anything at all. I tend to be really, really safety cautious. For instance, if I'm walking on a dark street in London, not necessarily in London, but it could be anywhere, couldn't it? But I always make it a point that nobody is following closely. You know, and I don't stand close to somebody when I'm stood at the bus stop. I just, you know, just those sort of things, you know. I just try to avoid situations where, you know, my safety could be compromised.
I think that's very sensible. Very sensible. Yeah, we all have to be, especially with the number of mobile phone thefts these days. It doesn't really pay to walk along holding your phone, does it? But,
I've seen that in London, where, you know, they've got these electric bikes, and they just ride along and snatch your phone. And
snatch the phone.
So
not good.
So if I was ever in London again, I would, you know, not use my phone in public, really, because you never know where you could be a target. You could be a target anywhere, really. Especially crowded places or something.
You've got to be careful.
You've got to be careful these days. I mean, you know, it's the rise in mental health related attacks as well, isn't it? You know, you just can't predict it. You know, you don't know who's going to be having an episode. You don't know who's not taking their medication. I mean, I say that with all sympathy, because it is an illness, isn't it? You know, but you don't want to be at the receiving end of, you know, some of these episodes, you know, whatever they might be through. You don't want to be, you know, because at the end of the day, they've not done it out of hatred or anything. It's just because they're ill, you know, and you know, the illness, they've done it as a defect of
that sounds like you're sort of excusing it, though.
You have to, in a way, though. You have to, in a way, because all right, so what can I compare it to? So it's like, all right, so let's look at other disabilities, right? So if you saw somebody in a wheelchair and you're on a pavement, relative safety of a pavement, you would do everything in your power to make sure that the wheelchair user is not put in danger because of you, because of your own safety. So you'd put their safety ahead of yours, wouldn't you? Because you feel they're a little bit disadvantaged, not in a bad way, you know. And as such, you look at mental illness, it could happen to anyone. It could happen to anyone, you know. I mean, what does it take for somebody to act in an irrational way, or to act to make a decision, irrational decision that they've never done? I don't think it takes much. It only takes something to tip somebody over. So it's not excusing it. It's just, what can you do? You know, it's become part of life, ain't it? I mean, life's gotten really, really much more, what's the word I'm looking for? Much more hectic, much more critical. Well, we're living in critical times, aren't we? And as such, I mean, all right. So there was this incident about this guy in New York, and he actually pulled out a gun and shot somebody. He shot two couples, and his excuse was the war in Palestine. You think, that's affected him in a way that nobody would have anticipated, nobody would have been able to predict. And as such, there are things that are affecting people. I mean, the riots in Stockport, was it Stockport? No, Southport. It affected a lot of people differently, and they took actions. And these are people that ordinarily might have been peaceful on a good day. But there are things that tips people over, don't they? Somebody's going through a nasty divorce. They're thinking about not losing their children to the other partner.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor Gear and Emmy Hikins.
The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.